Hi everyone, it's Kirei here with another layout for Bramble Fox, and for this layout I'm using three new sets in the shop. The first one is the One Fine Day, and I use the Today and Photo perspectives. Then the Flutterby Pastel set, and finally the Enjoy Yourself set. I just use the arrow from that one, and you can see them all over there to the left of the video. Okay, so I'm using the really pretty Prima Spring Abstract collection, and I have this paper here, but I wasn't sure how I was going to use it because it felt like I was going to put the photo to the bottom and it felt like lots of white space. So I've actually trimmed a piece off the top, and then I'm looking here at then adding it to the bottom underneath the floral cluster. And I really sort of liked how that was looking. So I'm playing around here with the perspectives. I'm going to use photo for my title. I'm going to call it Photo Booth and the arrow. And then I've got today, which I'm going to sort of use as part of my embellishments. And I'm going to use quite a few of the very pretty pastel butterflies and dragonfly in and around the flower pattern paper. So here I am. I've just pulled out some of the ephemera, matching ephemera from the collection. I'm just working out what I'm going to do. Now, change of plan. You can see here, I left my layout with the pink down the bottom, and I wasn't sure. It felt all just a bit pale, a bit pink. I just wasn't liking it. And overnight, before I went to bed, I actually turned the paper over and thought I quite like the pop of sort of mustardy yellow. So I came back to it the next day and was like, yep, that's exactly what I want to do. So that's what I've done, and I've attached it to the bottom of the floral paper. And now I'm just going to add my square photo. I've already mounted it actually on some navy tissue. I just wanted something a little darker to lift it up from the background. So I'm bringing back in the floral clusters, and you can see me here. I'm just sort of curving the edges. When I stick my ephemera down, I never stick it down completely flat. I only add a bit of sort of glue or tape into the middle of the ephemera and stick it down, and that way I can still get that sort of dimension on the individual pieces. Now I'm pulling in here a few little die cuts, and they were using some new dies that I got from the version scrap show that we all went to in Paris very recently. So I'm sure you've probably seen quite a few of the photos. As this one is here, of four of us. There were eight of us, but this was four of us at the photo booth. And obviously, put eight scrapbookers into a room where there's a photo booth, and it will definitely get used. We had quite a lot of fun with that. So anyway, so yeah, I'm using some of these lovely new the little dies that I had. Okay, so I'm sort of getting everything stuck down now, just making sure I'm happy with the placement, but I'm just really sort of bringing the floral element down from the pattern paper background, and creating a border running along either side of my photo. So just going to get that, and there's actually with the ephemera, there's a really pretty silver metallic foiling on them as well. So and that's what you're seeing. There's a bit of glare occasionally, and that's what you're seeing. It's a silver foiling detailing. Just decided I needed one extra leaf, and I am just trimming off some of the excess white border. Sometimes I find on the ephemera that the white borders are quite wide, and I don't really like that, so I do tend to sort of trim it off. I know it's a bit of extra work, but I quite like a bit of fussy cutting, so that's okay. Okay, I've got a few more of these little die cuts. I'm just adding those in. They're just to, again, add a little bit more texture and dimension around the flowers, the flower pattern we've got there. And then I can start to bring in all of the lovely perspectives and build those into the floral area and as my title. So the today is going to sit up there on the left where I have it. Got the photo down there. Playing with this arrow, I was fiddling around with it for a while, couldn't quite decide, but I do end up with it sitting down the bottom. And then I'm just getting the butterflies set in and around. They're in a lovely lilac. There's a really pastel pink. There's a sort of a more translucent pastel pink, and they were perfect with the papers that I'm using. So I'm just getting the perspectives. Sorry about my head. Getting those perspectives stuck down now. So got butterflies coming out from the top of the photo and then just to the side. There's a couple more little flowers I'm just sort of adding in here, a couple within that sort of mustardy yellow and the pink, fiddling around, trying to decide where they're going to go. Love this little lilac dragonfly, so that's sitting up the top there. Another butterfly there. But don't forget to pop on over to the bramble.fox.co.uk shop, where you will find these new sets and lots more new goodies. There are Morag is adding more and more different types of things that are perfect for embellishing and adding a little bit of extra detail to your layouts. So, keep an eye out on the shop for more new goodies coming all the time. Okay, so now I'm adding the booth here. So I'm going with photo, and as I said, booth is my other word. And I start off with these alphas, but I do change my mind actually, and that will come in, I think, in the final photos. I change it to a slightly different alpha. It's raised and it's more metallic because I quite liked it to be a bit more silvery to match the foil detail on the pattern papers. Okay, I'll get my perspective stuck down. So this is photo, and I'm just using glossy accents like I always do because it gives it a nice strong hold. Oops, I think I left my glue open, so it's a bit clogged. There we go. Got that going now, and I can get that stuck down, and then I can get the arrow on, and we're almost done actually. We're pretty much coming to the end. I do add a little bit of journaling along under the floral clusters on the left, and then I add a little detail to the top because I felt like I needed something else at the top of the layout, and I do just tear the paper at the top and back it with another piece of pattern paper, and then I just add a couple of violets and tie through some thread. So that's my journaling, and here we go. Oh, I'm looking at the chipboard. I don't actually add any of the chipboard elements. I felt like I'd had enough with the dimension by adding the perspectives. So here we go. Just working out what I'm going to do here, but I think we'll come to the end and you'll see how it looks in the close-ups. There we go. Final layout. So that little bit of detail up the top. Okay, and here you'll see some of the lovely perspectives in the close-ups. I hope you've enjoyed watching my process video, and I will see you again in another video very soon. Bye for now.